Biomed Nexus. Daily updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. Executive takeaway BridgeBio's best in indication. Phase 3 dwarfism data has triggered an immediate competitive repricing for BioMarin and Ascendis, signaling a mass patient rotation to oral therapy. Simultaneously, the FDA's aggressive move to remove boxed warnings from hormone replacement therapy, HRT, signals a new Truth in Science regulatory regime under Commissioner Macquarie. Read more week ahead. Mon 2/16 President's Day, markets closed. 2/2/17 Medtronic MDT, earnings watch for Simplicity renal denervation adoption. Allwed 2/18 Analog Devices ADI, earnings healthcare sensor demand signal. What to watch? The dwarfism switch. Trade. With BridgeBio's infigratinib achieving a +2.10 year growth velocity superior to BioMarin's historical benchmarks, watch for a mass patient rotation from daily injections to daily pills. This threatens the multi-billion-dollar injectable market currently held by Voxzogo. Read more pan-flu benchmarking. Centivax's Phase 1 universal flu start is the first major test of conserved region vaccines. If successful, it could render the annual reformulation market for standard flu shots obsolete by 2028. Read more Medicaid cost-sharing volatility. New Medicaid rules taking effect in sanctuary states like California, amid a $600 million CDC funding freeze, will likely force health systems to absorb higher uncompensated care costs in 1H 2026. Read more. Today's top story: BridgeBio crushes achondroplasia Phase 3, teases best in indication growth. What happened? BridgeBio, BBIO, announced positive top-line Phase 3, Propel 3, results for oral infigratinib. The drug achieved a statistically significant annualized height velocity, AHV difference, of 1.74 cm LS mean over placebo p0.01 with an unadjusted mean difference of +2.10 cm. The wow factor, crucially, it showed the first ever statistically significant improvement in body proportionality in children under 8 years old. Why it matters? Analyst commentary suggests infigratinib outperformed the historical pivotal benchmarks of BioMarin's Voxzogo and Ascendis Transcon CNP. As an oral pill, it removes the injection burden that currently limits pediatric compliance. Executive impact: BioMarin, BMRN, and Ascendis, ASND, must now defend their injectable franchises against an oral competitor with superior growth data. BridgeBio intends to file NDA MAA in 2H 2026. Read more oncology and rare disease Novocure, FDA approval. The FDA approved Optune Pax yesterday, a portable, non-invasive device for locally advanced pancreatic cancer, the first new treatment approved for this indication in nearly 30 years. Data: adding tumor treating fields, TT fields, to standard chemo, GNP, improved overall survival by approximately 2 months, 16.2 vs 14.2 months, P039. Read more Ultragenyx restructuring. Pivot reported 2025 revenue of $673, but announced a strategic restructuring, including a 10% workforce reduction, 130 employees, to focus resources on its Angelman syndrome Phase 3 readout H2 2026. Read more clinical and research updates. Anovis Bio, Alzheimer's, clearance. An independent DSMB cleared Anovis to continue its Phase 3 trial of buntanetap without changes, citing a clean safety profile across the first 40% of enrolled patients. Read more Centivax, universal flu. Milestone: dosed the first participant yesterday in a Phase 1 trial for CentiFlu UL1. Unlike seasonal shots, it targets conserved viral regions that do not mutate, aiming for permanent, pandemic-proof immunity. Read more EMA regulatory shift policy. The EMA continues to tighten active substance manufacturing controls following ongoing detections of nitrosamine impurities, signaling an intensifying zero-tolerance policy for carcinogenic contaminants. Red, more corporate developments, Series Therapeutics, reboot. Cuts. The microbiome pioneer announced a 30% workforce reduction and paused its lead program, SCR-155, to pivot toward earlier-stage immunology research, extending its cash runway into Q3 2026. Read more Samsung Bioepis, settlement. Deal settled with Regeneron yesterday to secure a January 2027 US launch for its Eylea biosimilar, Opuviz, providing the market with a definitive timeline for the next major biologic to biosimilar rotation. Read more policy and public health FDA HRT de-risking action. In a landmark move, the FDA removed boxed warnings for cardiovascular disease, breast cancer, and dementia from 6 menopausal hormone therapies. Quote, Commissioner Makary stated the agency is delivering on our promise to make sure women have accurate, scientifically grounded information, free from exaggeration. CDC funding, freeze. Legal? A U.S. District Court granted a 14-day temporary restraining order yesterday, blocking the administration from terminating approximately $600 in CDC grants to California, Colorado, Illinois, and Minnesota. Biomed Nexus Pro Institutional Intelligence Brief. In today's Pro Brief, the Makary FDA Alpha. Why the HRT label change triggers a repricing for lifestyle science assets. Series MCRB. Distress. The 30% cut buys time, but is it enough? We analyze the Q3 2026 cash cliff. BridgeBio valuation. The market is pricing in a 40% switch rate from Voxzogo. We check the math. Upgrade to unlock institutional analysis. Read full article.